So hello everyone, welcome to this another video of Spring REST playlist. I'm Abhishek Verma and in today's video we are going to learn about an enhanced Spring REST topic, that is SpringDoc. Now, did it ever happen with you that you have created the complete project and then your manager asks you to document the APIs which you have created? Trust me, with me it happens multiple times. Or in case, let's say you are a college student and then you have created the whole project also, but your teachers say that, okay, we are not interested in that project. Instead, we are interested in the documentation. Now for this, you may be going for a Word file or an Excel sheet. But instead of it, what if I say there is an interesting way, and that too with the help of a UI, that you can document your APIs? You will say that, okay, Abhishek, isn't it something like Swagger? The answer is yes. It is similar to Swagger, but we can say enhanced version of Swagger. Because nowadays, in the new age applications, we are not making usage of the Swagger. It's an old thing. And instead, we call it as SpringDoc. So it will not only help you to document the APIs, but will also help you to test your APIs. Something which we have been doing with the help of Postman till now. So without wasting any more time, let's directly get started and see how to implement the same. So now we are in the IDE, and before we start with our today's demo, first of all, let's do a quick recap and see what we did last time in demo number 16. So for this, I will go to this UML diagram somewhere here and let me increase this size a bit like this. Let me just scroll it a bit left, and yeah, this is how it looks like. So first of all, we were having demo class, as always, containing only the main method. Then we were having the controller layer containing 3 different methods. Then from there, we were moving towards the service layer, which was having an implementation. Then we were moving towards the repository layer. We were having the mapper interface also, as well as the custom exceptions and the controller advice. Then we were having the DTO classes and the enums. Then beside this, we were also having the entity classes. In the entity classes, we were having one-to-one relationship between owner and pet. Under pet, we were having 2 types of pets, domestic pet and the wild pet. And this is how the things were looking like. You have already seen the same thing multiple times. Let me just take you to this controller and show you what was the interesting part here. So last time, if you remember, we were basically working on the hate OAS. And I again don't remember that particular full form now because I have forgotten the full form. But what I do remember is that how we implemented the hate OS. Trust me, it was very, very interesting. If you have not watched the video here, with the help of hate OS, what we try to do is that we try to achieve the level 3 of RM, that is Richardson maturity model. And the level 3 says that in your output itself, you should be providing the links to your customer so that they should be able to navigate to other URLs very easily. And it was very interesting to implement, although we found that by adding this particular RMM, or you can say by adding this hate OS in our controller, it makes the things bit more difficult, and it also increases the complexity of our controller class. So the thing is that it's not the case that you always need to implement hate OS, but it's always better to know that how to implement the same, so that next time maybe your manager asks you to implement hate OS, then you just need to know that you need to watch this video and you will be able to implement the things. So let me just simply close it by clicking on this close all. And now let's move on towards our today's demo, that is demo number 70. Now, first of all, let me just simply start this and show you what all things we are having. So I will go here in demo number 17 like this one, and then I can also show you my controller here. So the controller is currently looking like this. Today we are having 4 URLs here, and you have already worked on all these URLs in the previous videos. The only thing is you need to watch all the videos. Yeah. So there is the save owner. We are having the find owner also. We are having the pets also. We are able to fetch the owners on the basis of date of birth of their pet. So that we are doing. And also we are having one URL which is going to provide us the pagination. So that is also available. Beside this, in this, we are also taking care of the exception handling. We are also doing the input validation part also. So all those things are also there. Then if I take you to this pom.xml, you will see that I have also added the actuator dependency, which means that actuators are also going to be available to us. And again, all these things we have seen in one or the other demo. Yeah. So this is how the things look like, but why it didn't got started. So let me go here. Okay. The JDBC issue. Okay. So yeah, that keeps on happening. So let me just go to this open config. And here, let's go to one of the previous demo to this one. Let's go to this environment. And from here, let me just simply copy this part and come back to demo number 17. And here I'm going to paste. I will say apply and close. And then let me just try to spin it up again. So yeah, this is how the things are working. So many times it's beneficial. Otherwise, later on, once we have started, then seeing these kind of errors is not a good thing. Yeah. So we can say clear here. Let's go to this one, that is Postman, and here it has opened in my another screen. So let me bring it up here. Let's go to this demo number 17. So you see we are having save owner, then we are having this find owner also here. Let me try with 73. So for 73 also I'm getting some data here. Then here let's go to this by date of birth. For this one also you will see that we are getting some data here. And then let's try this pagination one. So here also we are getting some data. But that was not the interesting part. Yeah. And for this save owner also, as you see that the things are gonna work fine. But the point is that this was not interesting. You have already seen these things so many times in the previous also. Yeah. The interesting part which we need to check out here is that how to write the documentation for this thing. So for this, let me just simply clear it. And what I will do is that first of all, we just need to add a simple dependency. For this, I will open my Chrome, and here again, it has opened my another screen. So let me bring it up here, and we are on this particular part. So I will show you a magic. So I will just click here and see it is showing me the option. The thing is that before starting this video, I have again searched the same thing. That's why it is coming up here. And the dependency which we need to add today is SpringDoc OpenAPI Starter WebMVC UI. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, isn't it possible to get this dependency directly from the Spring Boot starter? The answer is no. Directly, this dependency is not available. If you don't trust me, then I can just go here to this particular part. And here what we can do is let me just click on this particular one. And here we go. Okay. So here, let me search for this open API, something like this. Okay. Nothing is coming. Let me try with this SpringDoc. So for this also nothing is coming. And let me try with this Swagger. For this also nothing is coming. Yeah. So that means directly this is not visible. And this is the only way here. Yeah? So we will go on to this particular one, the very first one only. And let's check the latest one. So what we will do is we will copy it from here, and let me come back to my project, and here we are. So let me go for this particular last one somewhere like this, and let me remove this particular comment. I don't like these kind of comments here. So let me do it like this. Now another interesting thing which I wish to do is I don't want to hard code the version here. Instead, what I will do here is that here I'm just simply going to say like this. And here I will be saying open-api.version in this particular way. Also, this is a good practice. Like as of now, it is only for one-time usage. But for the long run, these things are going to help you out, guys. Yeah. So here, let me say this version in this way. And here I will be saying it like this, 286. So next time, let's say it has upgraded. So I just need to make a change here. I don't need to scroll down and make any kind of changes there. Yeah. So what I will do is I will say this one, and here let's say format something like this. So yeah, it has formatted, and that's the only dependency which you need to add. Now let's go back here and let's give it a start again. And let's see what are the changes which we are going to see now here. So, okay, for this, okay, it has got started. Let me just bring it up. Yeah, it got started here. Let's go to the Chrome again. And here we are. So here I will be saying it as local. Then I'm going to say host. And then I'm going to say 8080. something like this. Yep. So here you say that, okay, we are getting some kind of message here, and here it says no static resource. And why it is this? So this is happening because we are handling the exception. Okay, so here also it is trying to open up a method for this one, but the thing is not available here, and hence it is saying internal server error. So nothing will come here directly. What you need to do is that here you need to say something like this, that is v3, and then you need to say API hyphen docs in this particular way. And now you see that we are getting some kind of output. Okay, so what I can do is I can just simply click on this one also, or the another option is I will copy the URL from here. I will go to my Postman, and here let me try to add a new one. So I will be saying here add a request, something like this. So let's go here and let's say here this particular one as something like this, API docs. And again here also let's say this one. So what it basically says, now it says you that, okay, there is something as OpenAPI. I hope it is visible. Let me just increase the size. Yeah. So it says there is something OpenAPI on this URL. The version is 3.1.0. I'm assuming it is the latest one because we have used the latest dependency. Then there are these servers. So this is the same server where we are running, and it's a generated server URL, something like this. Then we are having something as /owners. So what is this /owners? If you see, this is our basically the API from where everything was starting. Then it says, okay, there is some owner controller, save owner, and something like this. It can give you this kind of a response. Then there is another URL which will accept the owner ID after owners and something like this. And then this also the pet date of birth. Then these details are also there. Then these are the various DTO classes available. So isn't it great? So just try to think what it is going on here. We just added one single dependency, and then this is the default URL. On this default URL, it is automatically providing us the documentation. And yeah, that's the magic. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, then is it a case? Then yeah, the video is over and tata bye bye. But the answer is no. The point is, what will you do with this response? I mean, you are not a machine, okay? And even your manager is not a machine, I guess so. Yeah. So if that is the case, which means that this particular output is not much more readable. Okay. So what we will do is we will just save it like this, and then we are going to create another URL here. So let me go for this one, another request. Let's try with this one. And here, let me again paste the same thing as of now. Then what I will do is I will replace this v3 API docs with something as swagger-ui, and then I will be saying here .html in this particular way. And let me say like this. Now what you will see, this time you will see that the output is not a JSON. The output is not an XML, but instead it's a UI. So this is basically an HTML page. So it is going to look something like this. Now again, what we will do just by looking into this. So what we can do is I will copy this particular URL from here, and let me go back to this Chrome browser, and here I will be opening it on this particular way. Yeah. And here you will see that we are getting an interesting UI. Now you will say me, okay, Abhishek, what did you added for this? The answer is very simple. Only that single dependency. So a single dependency is going to provide you this kind of JSON response also. And that single dependency is going to provide you this kind of UI also. Yeah. So this is possible with the help of SpringDoc, OpenAPI, as well as Swagger. So all these things. So many times people first of all get confused that what is this OpenAPI, what is the Swagger, and what is this SpringDoc. So the reality is this kind of UI, or basically this kind of tool, we call it as Swagger. And that's why here also you see the name as Swagger. So what is Swagger? Swagger is basically a kind of a tool which is going to provide you the UI in order to view the documentation of your APIs. Yeah. Also, it is a tool using which you can create all these APIs also. So that also can be done. Yes. And then this kind of documentation, this is because of the OpenAPI. So this documentation is available because of this OpenAPI. So this is a definition. Now, the thing is that if you wish, you can modify the same thing also. Now, one of the options to modify this is that you just write a very big YAML file. There you start customizing each and everything, but that's an old way. Now, the latest way is using the SpringDoc. So what will happen is, with the help of SpringDoc, you don't need to create a YAML file. You can just write some annotations and then you can customize all these things. So Swagger is a tool, OpenAPI is the definition, and SpringDoc is something, a new library, which is going to provide you the annotations using which you can customize your OpenAPI definition as well as the Swagger UI also. Yeah? But before we start doing the customization, let's see what information it is providing. So first of all, what it says is that these URLs are default ones. Okay, here these URLs were not created by me. These are the default ones. So the moment you are going to create in your application also, the URLs are going to remain same. Only the port number is going to depend on your application. Yeah. So it says that, okay, it is coming from the OpenAPI definition. And here also, if you will click, so basically it is going to open this same URL only. Yeah. Because this is the UI. It is also getting data from somewhere. So it is getting data from this API docs only. So whatever the data is available here, same values are coming up here. So it says that, okay, there are servers and by default, this is the URL. So it is going to look something like this. Then it says that, okay, we are having a controller. This controller is containing these 4 APIs. The first one is post. Then we are having 3 get APIs. You can click on this. Then it will say that, okay, it is containing some request body also, which will look something like this. Then it can provide you the okay as a response. But the problem is that besides okay also, you remember that it can throw some kind of exceptions also. So that response it is not showing us. Yeah. Then it says that, okay, there is another URL, owner ID. It will accept one owner ID, something like this, and it will again show you the response. But again, for this also, it is not showing the error response. Then this pet's date of birth, the same thing is available here. And then same for this pagination is also available here. But you see that for this pagination, it is very odd way of writing, because you just need to write the whole JSON something like this. And this is the way, guys. Yeah. And here you will see all these schemas. So domestic pet DTO is visible here. You can see the field name. You can see the data types. In gender, you can see which kind of enums it is going to accept. In this type, which kind of enums it is going to accept. Same for owner DTO, pet DTO, wild pet DTO. For these pageable and everything it is showing. Yep. So this is the thing. By default, SpringDoc is going to provide you all these things. Now the point is that if you are happy with this, then yeah, the job is done. You don't need to watch the video further. Yeah. Besides the documentation, you will say that, okay, does it going to provide anything else also? The answer is yes. Besides documentation, it will also provide you a way that you can test your APIs. Because for all these APIs, you see, we are having a button as try it out here. Okay. So what happens? The moment I'm going to click on this one, this field becomes editable. Now I can say here 10, and then I will click on this execute, and you see that I'm getting the actual output here. So this output is coming from my database. Same way I can say here something as 73. So this 73, you remember that when in Postman we executed, we got the output. Same way here also we are getting the output. Here you see what kind of curl request is going on, what is your URL, and what is the response body. Besides this response body, you will see what kind of response headers you are getting. So like this you are getting. Same way, if you wish, you can do it for this particular post also. So you can click on this tryout and you just need to fill all these values, whatever you wish here. Yep. So again, this part can be done here. As of now, I'm not going to save a new one from here, but what else we can do? So let me say here something as 100. Let's see whether this one exists or not. So when I say 100, then what it will do? Now this time, when I say 100, so this user doesn't exist. So now it will start showing me this 404 not found. But it says that it is undocumented. Okay. So by default, this 404 was not visible. After I made a mistake, then only I came to know that, okay, there is something like 404 only. And it is going to show me this kind of error response. So again, this is coming fine. But the moment I'm going to refresh it, now let's see whether it is still there or not. So we will again go back here. So again, it is showing 200 okay only. So the thing is, by default, it will just show a minimal documentation. What it can show you, the name of your controller. So again, it's a default name. The actual name was owner controller. So what it did was it converted everything to the lowercase, and wherever it was like camel case approach, because C of controller was capital, it added a hyphen here. Then for all the URLs also, it is showing the by default thing. Then it is showing the example schema also and the output also. Now for this particular URL, it knows that it is going to return an integer only. So only that part it is showing. It doesn't knows that it can throw some kind of exception also. That it will come to know after you are going to try it out. Yeah. And beside this, these kind of schemas and everything it is showing. But now the point is, can we customize it? And the answer is yes, we can customize the same thing. Okay. So now let's start doing the customization. But before that, you just need to remember that it is your choice how much amount of customization you wish to do. If you say, no, I'm fine with this, then you don't need to do any kind of customization. Only adding a dependency is enough. Yeah, by default URLs. But if you wish, you can customize the URLs also. If you wish, you can customize the data also. And it completely depends on you. So the moment we are going to proceed in this video, it is going to become complex. So the moment you will feel that, okay, now I can't hold this complexity, you can stop this video. And that's the thing, because by that point of time also, you will be able to learn something. Yeah? So now let's go back to our code, and that is here. So now we are in this particular part. Let me just simply stop it and let's go here. So now we don't need to make any other change in the pom.xml. First of all, the number one thing is, let's try to enhance the URLs. I don't want to go with the default URLs. So what I will do is I will go here to this particular application.properties, and here I'm going to add something like this. So I will be saying here Spring, then I'm going to say here doc, and then here I'm going to say API docs, and it is by default enabled. So I will say here path. So the moment you are going to add a dependency, they will get enabled by default. If you wish, you can disable also. But then what's the benefit? That first you added a dependency, now you are disabling it. Okay. So now it says path. Now the by default path was looking something like this, API-docs. So this was your default path. But you say, no, I don't want to see on this particular one. Instead, I want to create my own. So you can see here documentation, something like this. So now this will become your path. Okay. Then afterwards, let's try to enhance the UI path also. So for this, again, we are going to say here Swagger doc, and then SpringDoc, and here we are going to say something as Swagger UI, and it is going to be not this one, but where it went. Okay, I'm not able to find, so let me start writing the same Swagger UI and then dot path. Yeah, there it goes. So this is the one path, and here let me say as something as the URL. So my URL is going to be Swagger, and then I will be saying here HTML. So remember, you need to end it with the .html. So whenever it's a path for UI, you need to end it with .html. Now, if you wish, you can just give my name here, you can give your name here, or whatever you wish. Yeah. So that can be done in this particular part. Now, let's go back again here and give it a start. So again and again, we will just keep on starting the things and we will keep on trying out. And there is nothing much beside this. Yes. So let's go back here, and yeah, there we are. So first of all, let me just go on to this one and let me just give a start. So now you see, now this URL is not working because we have enhanced the URL. We have overridden the values. So here I'm going to say as documentation. So the spelling is wrong and it should be something like this, documentation. So yeah, we are getting again some output here on this documentation now. Now let's go here and again let's refresh. So yeah, automatically the moment you are saying here Swagger UI, then it is going to this index.html, and this one is still working fine. Okay, so this one is also working fine, but if you wish, you can go to your own URL, and that is swagger.html. So I will say here Swagger, then I'm going to say HTML, and then it is going to look like this. So automatically it will keep on redirecting you to that particular one. So you can type swagger.html and it will automatically redirect you to Swagger UI index.html. This is how the things are going to work here, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's not an issue as such. But the point is that at least I can say swagger.html, a shortcut name or something like this I can try. Now the thing is, can we enhance or can we customize these particular things also? So let's try to enhance all these things one by one. First of all, here on the top, I'm not getting too much information here, that who has created it, what is the purpose of this particular page, what is this server, and what all things. So let's try to enhance this particular part. So again, let's go back to this particular demo. Okay, why didn't open? Okay, what's happening here? So let me click on this one, and yeah, now it worked. Okay, so that is sometimes silly, guys. So now let's go back to this particular demo class. So today again we need to make some of the changes in the demo class, guys. Okay, so for doing those changes, first of all, we will be starting from this, and here the annotation is going to be OpenAPI, and then we need to see here definition. Okay, so defi, what is the issue? Definition. So it is going to look something like this, OpenAPI definition, and yeah, it came something. Now let me give on something like this, and here if we go within this OpenAPI definition, what it says is that, okay, you can provide some info, provides metadata about the API. So yeah, I want to enhance this, so I will be taking this info here. So let me just go here. So the thing is that, again, as I said, that these are the customization levels, how much you want to customize. So it is completely your choice. So we will be only customize few of the things, other things you can try on your own also. Yeah. So here I'm going to say info, and within this, the data type of this info is @info. So let me just simply copy this one here. I will be providing it something like this, and I'm going to say this one. So this is the number one thing which we will be providing, that is info. Now, besides info, what else we wish to do? So if you wish, we can provide some tags also. We can enhance the servers also, security also, external docs and extensions, all these things we can provide. So you remember there we were having something as servers. So let's copy this one and provide it here. That is servers. Now this servers, if we see, it is basically a server array. Okay. So for this, we will go here and let's try to create an array, and within this we will be seeing here @server again, and here it is going to look like this, guys. So I will go inside this. Now this server is going to accept something as domain. It can take all the version also, and it will take some these kind of things. Okay, so besides this also it will take some kind of URLs and other things. So let's start providing all these values. So here we are, and first thing is the URL. So here I'm going to see http:// and I will be seeing here localhost:8080. So this is the URL. Okay. Now what is the purpose of this URL? Because the same thing was available earlier also, like here also it is available, localhost:8080. But what it is just a generated server URL. So let's try to enhance the description for this one. So here I'm going to say description, guys, and here I'm going to say something as in this particular part. So here I will be saying that this is basically my development server. Later on, let's say that, okay, you are testing your application on some different port. So that also you can mention. Once it is went to your release, that also you can mention here that, okay, what is the release port, what is the release URLs, and all those URLs you can mention here. The benefit is, let's say there are multiple URLs. So what will happen is that person will be able to just, click from this particular drop down, and they will be directly able to change the URLs. They can test with the actual test URL also, production URL also, depending on your requirement. Yeah. Now within this info, what we can provide. So in this info, we have something like title, description, terms of service, contact, license, and so many things are there, guys. Yeah. As of now, you see it is very simple. Nothing is available in this particular part, just a documentation. So what I will do is, instead of typing one by one, let me just copy paste. Okay. And I hope that is fine, because our main goal is that we need to understand that how these things are going to look like. So what I have added here is that for these fields, so the things are very easy. What you just need to do is you just need to click on this one. Then you just read whatever it is. So like this is title. So title of your application. So what title do you want? Then what description do you want? So whatever you want, you just go and you mention here. So for title, I will say, no, I don't like this default title as OpenAPI definition. Instead, I want it as demo. The version I want as 1.0.0. Description is, this is the documentation for my demo application. And in case you feel stuck, so you can contact Abhishek Verma. So I'm just giving my details here. Generally, it is helpful for the freelancers or those people who are working on the open projects. Okay. At that point of time, they can mention their URL, they can mention their email ID so that they can get more and more projects also. In your project, you won't be having much choice because your manager is going to take your credit. So at that point of time, it is up to you, or it is up to the architecture what you need to write here. Yeah? So yeah, let me just simply save it like this, and let's click on this one. Let's click on this one again. And now let's see what are the changes just by adding these many things. Yeah. And this is the email ID of our channel, guys. If you want anything more from our channel, you can directly write me here, and you can support me also this way directly. And yeah, that is it. So now you see what happened. So automatically the name got changed to this particular demo. The version is 1.0.0. Here you see this is the description which I provided. Same is coming here. Now automatically it is saying Abhishek Verma website. Now the moment you are going to click here, what it will do is it will open my website where you can see all my playlists and everything. So I will keep on updating the same here. Yeah. Otherwise in future, if I will change the website, so I will just need to make a change here. Now how it took the name as Abhishek Verma, because in the contact, if you remember, I gave the name as Abhishek Verma here on the top. So that's why automatically it took Abhishek Verma, and then this website it took from here and it made a hyperlink. Same way what it did was it clicked on this mail and it said as send email to. So I hope the moment you are going to click on this, it will open your default email server, maybe the Gmail, maybe Outlook or something. And from there you can directly send a mail to me. So that is something which can be done easily here. Yeah. Try sending a mail to me. That will be easier. So what you can do is that if you are watching this demo and if you have reached till this particular point, later on you are downloading also, you are testing the things. So just click on it, because I will be uploading the same thing in my GitHub. Click on it and send me a mail that okay, you have reached at this particular point. Yeah. So yeah, that needs to be done, and but provide a better heading. Otherwise I won't come to know that okay, where you have reached and why you are sending me something randomly. Okay. So these are the changes which we have done here. If you wish, you can just go through other things also. Yeah. So that was the number one part. Now let's start making the changes in the controller, guys. Okay. Now we don't need here anything, and here also let me just close. Now you see that by default here it is showing you the name as owner controller. Now why this name it is showing is because here the name is owner controller. So what it did, first of all, it converted everything to the lowercase, and between this owner and the controller it added the particular hyphen. Okay. So this is how it did. But what I want is I want a different name, and then I want some description also. So what I will do here is that I will be adding a new annotation. I will directly copy paste that particular part instead of writing, because then there will be too much writing in this particular demo. Okay. So here we are going to add something as @tag here. And within this, I will be saying owner. So it is your choice what you want to show to your users. I mean, why do you want to show the complete name as owner controller? Although there is no harm, but better you can say owner, and then it will be like APIs for managing owners and their pets. As simple as that. Okay. So the goal is that whenever you are writing a documentation, make it as readable as possible. Okay. So what it will do is it is just going to change this particular name, owner controller. Yeah. So what we can do is, first of all, let me just give a restart again, and let's see what the changes it is doing. Yeah. So there we are, and it is trying to just restart. So let's go. Okay. In meantime, if you wish, you can subscribe to the channel. That is something you can do. So earlier it was owner controller. Let me refresh. And now you see we are getting owner here. And here we are saying these are the APIs for managing owners and their pets. Now, as of now, see, I'm having only one controller. So it is looking like, okay, we are giving too much details. But it is beneficial if you are having multiple controllers. Then depending on your controllers, you will be getting multiple headings. You will be able to see under which controller, which all APIs are there. And this way you can open and close. See, this drop down is here. Yeah. It's not a magic. Then let's go back again to this particular one. Yeah. The next thing is, okay, now let's start adding more information with our APIs. So first of all, this is save owner, and currently let's see what is available. So I will click on this, and what I see is it gives me the URL. It says it is a post. It says me this is the request body and the response is okay. But what it does, okay, I mean, what is the purpose of this? Why should I click on this particular one? Although it seems to be easy that, okay, post mapping, so obviously save owner or something, but still in your actual project, there can be multiple post mappings. So how to make it more readable? So in that case, you will go on to this particular post mapping on this particular method annotation, and there you will say @operation. So now we will start writing on the method level. So we will say operation here. Summary is create owner. Description is a bigger one. Save a new owner and their pet to the database. Now again, this is your choice. If you say no, I just want to write summary only. That's it. Don't write the description. Okay. It is completely up to you how much information you want to pass to the user. As of now, I haven't restarted. Okay. Let's see a few more extra things. So then it says 200 okay. So for response, it simply says 200 okay. But what is this okay? I mean, what's the meaning of this 200 okay? Okay. And first of all, it is not even 200, guys. This was 201 if you remember. Okay. Because we are returning here created. So how it can be okay? So this is a wrong one. So what we should do is we should add our own response. So I will be adding something like this. Yeah. So the next annotation is API response. And here we will provide a response code that is 201 because of this created. And the description we will say that owner successfully created. So what's the meaning of it? We are saying that the moment you will get 201, it means the owner has been successfully created. Now after this, there can be some errors also. Okay. And the error which it can return is that there must be some kind of validation issue. So for validation issue, if you remember, we can go here. For the validation, it was giving us something as bad request. Every time there is some validation issue, it used to say bad request. And this bad request is on the, I mean, status code is 400. Okay. So we will go here and I will paste it like this. So I will add another API response. I will say 400 and I will say there is some constraint violation error. Okay. It can be anywhere within the body. So this is the thing. And then here, as of now, we need to write it like this, but let's say we are not writing, then what happens? Okay. So as of now, let me just write it something like this one. Then after this, another one. So what I will do is I will just copy paste this one. I mean, besides this also, there can be any other error. Okay. Because for all these, you see that it can be some generic exception can also occur. And this generic exception is on port number. Why I'm again and again saying port number. Actually, it is the status code. So that is this 500. And here I'm going to say internal server error. So let me write it like this. Internal, and then I will say here server, Control-Shift-O, Control-Shift-F. And yeah, this is how it is going to look like. So let me again give it a start. So yes, we are starting it again. And now we will see the changes. So one by one, we are going to do the things. Yeah. And here we are. So here, so earlier you see it was that simple. Yeah, nothing much. Now let me just refresh it. So on refreshing, now you see here, just on this particular one, now you can see the difference. For others, you won't see that, okay, what is their purpose? But here you see the main purpose is to create owner. Now you click on it, you will see more detailed purpose that it will save a new owner and their pet to the database. So here it is going to show you the summary. And here it is going to show you the complete description. Then here request body is as it is. And here in the responses, now it will show you clearly that for 201, it is owner successfully created. Description of this response code. And then this is the one, the integer only. Okay. So here what it will do is it will take the by default maximum value for the integer value. Then for 400, there is some constraint violation error. For 500, there is some internal server error. But the problem is for these one also, it is returning integer only. But how is it possible? If it is 400, it can't return an integer. Okay. So I don't want this. What I want is that whenever it is 400 or 500, it should show me the structure of error detail. At least a structure of error detail is enough for me. Okay. So then what I will do is that I will just go here And here I'm going to make a very small change. So let me just simply copy first of all. So yeah, there it is. And we will come back to this one. And here we are going to paste it like this. So after constraint violation error, we will say content. And within this content, we will say @content, then schema. And there we are going to mention error DTO. So automatically it is not going to understand. You need to mention like this. Same for this one also. And let's give it a save. So here, let me just start it again. So it is getting restarted again. And yeah, let's see how it is going to look like now. So yeah, it has started. So let's go back here. So earlier it was just a number, as you see. And if I refresh, now see the magic. Now, whenever you will be getting a constraint violation error, you will see this kind of JSON. So this is the thing, guys. Yeah. Now you will say that, okay, within this JSON, the JSONs are looking same only. Why is it so? Because for both of them, we are returning error DTO. And these values are nothing but the default values. So this message is a string. So that's a default value it will show. This error, if you remember, this error is nothing but a status code. Now you will say, how is it possible that here it is saying 400, here it is 100 continuous, something like this. So as I said, these are the default values only. Okay. So if I take you to this error DTO and then this error, so you see these errors are nothing but enums. So the first enum is 100 continue. So whatever is the first enum, that will be automatically taken here. It doesn't mean that on clicking this, you will be getting. The purpose is that you will get this kind of a structure, not the exact responses. Then you will get some status and the timestamp will be the latest as per that particular date and time only. Yep. Same thing here. Now, if you wish, you can even customize this part. But trust me, that is going to become very, very complex. So that you can just ask ChatGPT also how to do it. It will tell you 10 different ways. Generally, we leave the things at this point only. Okay. So even later on, I will show you some actual documentation also. And you will see they are also leaving at this particular point only. For examples, we don't go in detail. Now, after this, let's quickly, add the annotation for other things also without wasting any more time. So what we will do is, let me just copy from the other one here. And I hope it should not get much time. Otherwise, if you wish, you can just fast forward the things a bit. So I have copied for one. And let me now quickly copy for this second one also. So yeah, there I go. And here I'm pasting it for the another one. And here we go for the last but not the least also. So it is going to look something like this: Ctrl+Shift+O and Ctrl+S. Okay. So for all of them, the same things I have done. Operation, so that you will see the summary and description, and then the API response. The more API response you will tell, the more you will be able to see there. Otherwise, you will always see the default 200 OK only. Okay. And for the errors, we need to provide the content and all these things. Now, this error DTO, it is not able to get automatically. Okay. Because here you see, here we are only saying owner DTO. So by default, whatever you will mention here, that only will be considered as a body for others. If you say no, they are having different bodies, basically like errors, then you just need to mention it like this. There is no other option. So let's give it a restart and now see how it is going to look like, guys. Okay. So there we are. And here it is getting started, something like this. So let's go back here and let me just do a refresh. So now this is how it is going to look like, guys. Okay. So see, for all of them, now there is a better description. So here, what you need to do, get owner by owner ID. And here, then you can provide it something like this. This is this, this is this. And you are getting all these options also. And for this also, you are getting all these options. Isn't it looking much more better than the default one, guys? Okay. So this one is also looking better here. So something like this. But there is one small problem. This small problem is that for pagination, it is showing like this. But you remember, for pagination, this was not a case, because here we were using the pageable object. The moment we use a pageable object, then it should be looking like this. These are actually the params. Okay. So for our custom param, like for this one, you see, it is showing you start date and date like this. But for this pagination, it is directly showing you as a pageable object. Okay. So for this, what can be done? So let's go back to this particular one here. And what we will do is, we just need to add one small annotation here, guys. Okay. So let's go for this one. And before this pageable, let's add a small annotation like this: parameter object. And that's it. So we just need to say Ctrl+Shift+O And yeah, this is how it is going to look like. And now let me just again restart the same thing. So now you will see what this one single annotation can do the magic. Okay. And many times, I guess, if you are using pageable, you don't know, so you will keep on getting stuck for this particular part. So let's go here. So earlier it was a JSON, and now if I refresh, so you see that for this also, it is showing you three different things: page, size, and sorting. And for each and everything, it is providing more description also. That okay, this page is a 0 based index. Default value is 0. The size is something like this. The size of the page you wish to see, default value is 20. The sorting, this is the criteria, something like this. Default value is ascending, and these are the thing, guys. Okay. So this is the part, guys. Now let's see for our date of birth. Okay, for our date of birth, it is not providing that much detail. Okay, that what is this start date, what is end date. Same way here also for owner ID, it is not providing much details here, like what is this owner ID and something. So let's try to do that particular part also. So what I wish to do is I wish to see some more information about this path owner ID. Okay, so before this path variable, you need to add something like this, add the rate parameter. And within this, whatever description you wish to say. So I will say here owner ID to fetch the owner must be a positive number. Okay, so something like this, and I will say here Control Shift 2. All these things you need to get from the Swagger. So that is something important. Then for this other one also, let me just quickly do. So what I will do is I will go before this request param, and for this another one also, we will again, let me just do a quick copy, and I'm going to paste it here and something like this, guys. Okay, so you see, you will say that okay, Abhishek, it is becoming complex. But the thing is, see what you are getting in return. The more thing you wish to do, the more, I mean, you will get in the return also. Okay. And this is, I guess, far more better than writing a documentation in a Word file or something else. Okay. So let's do a quick refresh here. Now you see for owner ID, it is saying owner ID to fetch the owner must be. I mean, basically you are providing more details to the user that, okay, don't provide a negative number, you will get error. We are just telling you. And this is required. Automatically it happened. Okay. Then for this pet date of birth, it is saying what it is. It must be in past or present. Otherwise, you may get some error. Okay. So if you will provide something wrong, you are obviously going to get an error here, guys. Yeah. So these are the things. And again, we can still keep on retrying the things. Okay. So I can do something like this 2010. Here I can say 10. Here I can say 10. And in this end, I can say it as 20. Let me give it as, let me give some wrong thing also. Okay. So let me say 10 and let me say 10. Let's see whether we will get any output or not. So yeah, for this, I'm getting this kind of output. So these kind of testing you can do at any point of time. The only thing is about the documentation part. Okay. So this was the main documentation which you can do. Besides this, if, as I told, if you wish, you can do for these examples also. Yeah. Now you will see that we have provided so much information for these input. That okay, here input should be a start date, something like these are the things. Here the owner ID should be something like these, and these are the things. But what about this one? Here we don't have any option to provide more details for this particular request body. Okay, because if I go to request body, I can maximum go here, and then I will see that okay, ID is an integer, something like this, first name is a string. For gender, obviously it is showing me all these options, and for pet D2 also it is showing all these things automatically, but then it is not providing me much details that what it is. Okay, so although like here you see it is automatically showing you that this first name can be minimum 0, maximum 255. Last name can be minimum 0, maximum 255. Mobile number can be 10 only. So how it is automatically showing you these 10 characters? Because if I take you to this particular one here, and here let's go to this particular one into this owner DTO. So you will see that for mobile number here we have added min and max is 10. So because of this, it is showing you all those things. Yeah. But the thing is still it is not much descriptive. What that particular thing is, what is the ID, what is the first name or something like this. Okay. So that also we can do. So what we can do is we will do it something like this. So here I will say like this, add the rate schema, unique ID of the owner. Okay. And then here, let me try for something else also. So I will try out for this particular one is last name, and that is going to look like this. That is last name. And now let me just refresh. I will just show you what it is going to make a change in the output there. Okay. So here it is getting started and started. Yeah, it has started. So let's go back here. Let's refresh. So this time we don't need to see. I mean, here it looks exactly same. Okay. So let's go back to this particular part, owner DTO. And now here you see the difference. So for ID, the moment you are going to click there, it will say what it is. It's the unique ID of the owner. What is this last name? This is the last name of the owner. So basically, we are providing more description of each and every field also. It is again optional. If you wish, you can provide. If you don't wish, you can remove it. Okay. So all these things you can provide. So what I will do is I will quickly provide the description for all these fields for all the classes, and then I'll just refresh the page and I'll show you. Yeah. So guys, now I have provided the description for all the fields, and then it is going to look something like this. See, for each and every field, I have added @schema, then description, and now it is actually creating my DTO classes bigger. So this DTO class is also looking like this. This one is like this: arrow DTO, owner pet info DTO, wild pet DTO. So for each and every one, I have just added @schema. Now, and I have restarted it also. So if we will just go back to this particular one, so then you will see that for this domestic pet DTO, now it will provide you much more details. So each and everything something like this. For domestic pet DTO, it is able to show because domestic pet DTO is child of pet DTO. So that's why automatically all other fields are coming. Yep. And something like this. Same way for this particular one as owner pet info DTO. So all these things are visible. Okay. So that's why it is completely up to you how much you wish to write. Because as we say, this is documentation. So the people who are doing the documentation, the people who are making the books, or the people who are making videos for you, they obviously are doing a lot of hard work for you guys. Okay. And hence, if you wish to support such people like me, then you just need to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and you need to share it as much as possible. Okay. So, I mean, these things take time. If you wish, if you feel that, okay, it is very time consuming. So these things are not easy. I mean, that's the thing. It's an advanced part. Okay. So this was the main thing. Another just one more small thing before we end this particular demo is that as you see that here in this particular pom.xml, so here if I take you here, so there is this actuator dependency also. Also in this particular application.properties file, you see that I'm saying web exposure include star, which means that currently we can even see the actuators and everything. But what if you will say that, okay, Abhishek, we want to document or I want to see those actuators here also. Then what to do? So in that case, just one small thing you need to do. And that is that first of all, you need to say here SpringDoc. And here you need to say show and then actuator. And you need to make it as true. So by default, it is false. And if you will make it true, then it will start showing you all the actuators also there. Okay. And generally the thing is that we don't show the actuators, because this documentation is for your consumers who are going to consume your APIs. To them, you don't provide your actuators. Actuators are basically for the developers or for the architects who just want to see that how the application is behaving for monitoring the application. So we don't do it for actuator generally, but here my main purpose is first of all to show you how you can do it for actuator. Another thing is to show you that how for some default things, the Spring Boot is doing the things automatically. Okay. So I will just go here. Earlier it was only owner. Now let me just do a refresh. And now you see so many things have been added. So basically another thing has been actuator. So now you see there are two things: owner, which is made by you, and this actuator, which is made by them. For this particular actuator, what they do is here they are providing all these things. So this is something which we also provided. They are also providing something like this. And then these are the things. Okay. So generally, like for these names and everything also, it is your wish. If you wish to provide, you can provide here, or otherwise these things are enough. Okay. So you see they are not going in much detail for these examples and everything. Same way for this also, we can see here also it is very simple. And here also we can see here like for delete and everything. So some simple things only they are doing. Yeah. For examples, we don't do all these things much, but what they are doing is that here, if we just go back to this particular one, you see they have given this external URL also for this. So we can click on this and there we can learn more about all these things. Okay. So some documentation. So using those same annotations, you can also provide some extra documentation. So let's say you will say that, okay, I don't want to provide much details here. I want to take the user to some different URL. So that also can be done. But that is possible for these actuators, okay? Because if you want to have it. Otherwise, for your users, what I feel is that whatever we have done so far, that is enough, okay? Because basically what we did here on the top, we are customizing each and everything. We have customized the URL also, these details also. We are saying on which all server it is possible. If there is any issue, then whom to contact. Then we are providing here that, okay, which all controllers are available, what is their purpose, which all APIs are available, what is their purpose. Then here we have provided the response also. For all the response, we have said that, okay, what kind of content or what kind of structure the errors are going to have. So that also we have provided. For these owner ID kind of things also, we have provided so much amount of detail. And then for these DTOs also, we have provided each and everything in detail. That, okay, what is the purpose of this particular field or what all things, okay? So depending on your architect, depending on your project, you can do it. If you are a college student and then you want to make a very beautiful kind of a documentation, trust me, this is something which you need. You don't need anything extra. And another benefit is, let's say that you want to, you are running this project. Now you want to show the same thing to your teacher or whosoever is the evaluator. To them also you want to show. So you don't need to open a separate Postman. You can open this thing only. You can provide the details. Obviously, you need to click on this particular tryout, and there you can provide the things, and there you can show all these things working also. So it is not only documentation, but a tool to test your APIs. Okay. So these are the things which you can do using SpringDoc, which is actually taking help of Swagger and OpenAPI at the backend. Yeah. So please do like the video, because such videos consume a lot of amount of hard work. They need a lot of time to think and create all these things first of all, and then to record also. So please support my work if you feel I'm doing something good. Yep. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.